Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates. Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Barbara Arnold, and I would like to introduce Jael Currie, running for Alder from District 16. Jael, as we begin, please tell our viewers a bit about how your educational, vocational, and civic experience has prepared you for the position and why you decided to run for Alder.
Absolutely. Thank you, Barbara. So my name is Jael Currie. I am currently a social service professional with a background in social work. I have a master's and bachelor's degree and have been practicing in the field for the last 10 years, both in Rock County, but for the last 8 years in the Dane County, Greater Madison area. I am from Madison, born and raised. I have lived primarily on the east side my entire life. Grew up in neighboring District 3 of Madison, and now live in District 16 with myself and 2 children. My current work at the YWCA Madison as the housing director, I oversee a department of 10 housing programs focused on creating solutions to mitigate our housing crisis and the upsurge in homelessness in our community. As such, I've also had some intersections with the Common Council and going before them for funding and other advocacy for the homeless services population. So in all, being from Madison, having the experience in social services and or social work, I feel has adequately prepared me to take on the responsibility of being an alder. And I am running to bring both the perspectives of my lived experience as well as what I see and have observed in my career.
Thank you. Thank you. Our first question is, what issue or issues have you particularly identified as being of primary concern to the residents of District 16? And how would you approach tackling them?
Absolutely. So public safety comes up often. I know that this is citywide, but on the east side, there are 2 neighborhood associations that are very active on social media. And it seems like every other day, there's a post about a car burglary, a home burglary. So I know public safety and specifically in security and safety of personal homes and neighborhoods is of concern. How I plan to address that is I consider myself to be a very intentional listener. I also live in the district. Fortunately, I have not had those experiences of having burglaries or any of my personal belongings tampered with. But listening to those concerns because they are extremely valid. We are also under new leadership with the Madison Police Department. The East Precinct is not far at all from our district on Cottage Grove Road. And so I do intend to listen, but also to build trust and rapport through some of those relationships, obviously with neighbors and residents of District 16, but also with Madison Police Department and other invested interests, the neighborhood associations. I know there are many groups and coalitions that are focused on providing some support around this issue. I also know that this does not extend just to District 16, but recovering from the devastating effects of the COVID-19 pandemic are also near and dear, especially to businesses in District 16. So looking towards some solutions that the city can provide, whether that is, I'm blanking on the name of the program, but equitable access, especially for minority-owned and women-owned businesses, and providing some support around economic relief.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Jael. There will be an advisory referendum on the ballot in April about a number of modifications to the Common Council, including changing the number of members, making it full-time, and changing the term of office. Which of the ideas being advanced do you embrace, and why or why not?
So I am no stranger to juggling multiple tasks that are tied up in folks depending on what the outcome is. That is basically the nature of social services, a lot of constant decisions on the spot. Um, while I do know that the responsibilities and role of an alder usually take more than 20 hours per week, which is a part-time allocation, I do believe that with good organization skills, with the building trust and rapport, and really collaborating with some of the strong coalitions that already exist on District 16, I do feel equipped to take on the role in a part-time capacity. I do have some grave concerns about redistricting the city and reducing the amount of alders by half. Um, Equitable pay or increasing the pay is obviously a very generous thing, but again, my stance is that I believe that alders can stay in part-time positions. I do not believe that an alder role should be a part-time or a full-time or a career endeavor. And I do believe that support from other members on the council, as well as the mayor, can consolidate some of the concerns that I think have encouraged the redistricting and increase of salary.
Homelessness, evictions, and lack of affordable housing are vexing problems for Madison that seem to have been exacerbated in the time of COVID-19. What ideas would you advance or support to help solve these problems?
Absolutely. So I am looking towards great promise of new leadership in the federal government, and already President Biden has enacted something that myself and colleagues absolutely support, and that is while we're in an economic and global pandemic, that the immediate suspension of evictions for non-payment of rent goes into effect. And so that is something nationwide that we can also tap into as a community. So I am supportive of that endeavor. Also, we know that affordable housing is a serious issue within our community. I would like to redefine how we coin affordable housing to be 30% of income of low income residents or those who are struggling financially. Now, I know that there are some limits on what municipal government could do, but I am in favor of passing a resolution to uh, instill rent control and to build a movement to repeal that preemptive laws against local tenants' rights and measures through the landlord-tenant law. I also think of increasing the stock of affordable housing is going to be extremely important, as well as looking at zoning issues of increasing that to multifamily or duplex townhomes instead of just apartments and homes.
All right. Thank you, Jael. Um, this next question you began to allude to in your opening statement, but this is an important question. With the selection of a new police chief and the creation of a community oversight board, there is a lot of attention focused on policing and criminal justice, both from the perspective of racial equity in law enforcement and the concern of many citizens that in fact crime, especially car thefts and home burglaries, is increasing and that police response is inadequate. How would you deal with these major concerns?
Absolutely. So again, alluding to the fact that I'm a social service professional, obviously my specific lens right now is on homelessness, but it intersects with so many of the other societal issues that we see occur in our community and nationwide. And so inadequate response times, I think, contributes to the fact that we heavily rely on law enforcement to respond to almost all of the societal problems that we have. And so my stance, especially as a social service professional, would be that we start transitioning some of that reliance to trained, expert professionals in the areas of mental and behavioral health, in crisis intervention, in substance abuse or substance use that leads to the exacerbation of maybe crime or some of those other issues that we're seeing. I do believe that Madison police or law enforcement in entirety is tasked with too much. And I do support redefining law enforcement's role in ensuring public safety.
Thank you. Our fifth question. Madison businesses of all kinds have been severely stressed during the past year. What, if anything, would you do to propose and support business revitalization?
Absolutely. So my realm right now is looking at nonprofits as a nonprofit professional. So I will admit that this is something, this is an issue that I definitely need to immerse myself in more and engage with business owners, particularly small business owners. Because I do know that in District 16, we do have a pretty robust business industry and businesses. I know that the city, again, I'm so ashamed, I'm blanking on the word, but it is the term, um, small business equity recovery program, I believe is not verbatim, but it covers that. But again, focusing on minority-owned, women-owned small businesses and providing either grant support and or relief with taxes for those folks. So I do believe in economic relief for businesses and looking towards the city to provide resources to revitalize our business industry here.
All right, thank you. What measures should Madison take to increase our city's environmental sustainability?
Well, I know transportation is a really big hot item topic right now, especially during the elections. My understanding and stance is supporting the bus rapid transit program, as it will enhance our current public, our metro system. I'm also in support of looking at other transportation methods that will reduce the use of single occupants in cars or the amount of cars that are on the streets, especially to take into effect that the city would like to drastically reduce carbon emissions by the year of 2050. We still have time to do that. And I believe, again, that the council has a large responsibility of ensuring that decisions that they make that are before them, whether that's resolutions, are supportive of things that will reduce our climate crisis.
Jael, what would you like to say to the viewing audience as we complete this interview?
I would like to first say thank you. I know there's been so many opportunities to hear from myself and other candidates across the city and county who are running for elections. Having an invested community is going to ensure that these processes go well and that folks who need to be in leadership positions are stepping forward. I do feel that I am right now in a crucial point in my career where I can no longer stay silent about the things that I see and would like to lend my voice, experience, and perspectives to the Common Council in order to see a more just and equitable Madison. So I would totally appreciate your support by receiving your vote on February 16th. I am heading into a primary as our race has 4 candidates. And look forward to further opportunities to engage during this difficult time of social distancing. So thank you, Barbara, for the wonderful questions, and thank you to the city for hosting this.
I want to thank Jael Currie for speaking with us and the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. As with every election, please vote. The spring primary is Tuesday, February 16th, and the general election, April 6th. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.